It's time to talk about 90 Day Fiance's latest installment called 90 Day Fiance Love in Paradise. And when I say that this show is compelling, I mean that it is absolutely compelling. I decided to take a look at the show using Philo, which is a website that offers over 70 channels and stations like TLC, MTV, WeTV, OWN, you name it, they've most likely got it. And it's only $25 a month. And if you'd like to sign up for a free 7-day trial, make sure to hit the link in the description box of this video. So the episode kicks off with Madeline. She's this wonderful young Colombian girl. And I say girl because she very much looks like a little girl. I think she's only 19 years old and she very much looks it, which makes her relationship with a 31-year-old man, Luke, a little concerning. So she's been living like a queen in this luxury high-rise condominium since pretty much the minute that she met Luke. So she tells us that she's been living in this luxury condo for a year and that she and Luke have been together for a year. So that's why I say, like, practically the moment she met him, he was like, all right, let's go. I am tricking you out, which go for it, girl, but he's old for her. In addition to living in this beautiful building, she also has a boob job courtesy of Luke, and she said that she got it 3 months ago, which means that he bought them for her after only 9 months of dating. Luke is a mining engineer, and again, he's 31 years old, engaged to a 19-year-old, which to me is a massive red flag, especially when you consider the fact that he has a lot of money and she doesn't really have money and she relies on him 100%. It's giving classic passport bro, although most passport bros are broke. So I guess he is at least ahead of the curve in that regard. She also lets it slip that Luke proposed to her after only 6 months of dating. And when he proposed to her, he thought that he was going to go move to Colombia, live happily ever after with her. But unfortunately, he has taken a major financial hit because he lost his job, and we'll get more on that later. And now he's afraid that Madeline is going to leave him because he's broke. Next up, we've got Kyle, who is a California boy whose hobby is sperm donation around the world. He even pulls out a map to show us where he's got children. He's got children in the US, he's got children in England, he's got children in Spain, France, like Latin America, like he's got them everywhere. And this is like a true passion of his. And I find that creepy. I think it's one thing if you want to like donate to help a couple of people, okay. But when you're full blown out here calling it your hobby and you're saying that you travel around the world doing this, it gets a little creepy and weird. I really don't like it. There's just something so about it. Like, I don't like it because from what I understand of donation, typically there is a limit to how much you can do. And so I think he does this to skirt that. But here's the thing, in this world where we're so connected and everyone's like a digital nomad or this or that, traveling so much, and you can have these vacation romances, what happens when his child from like Mexico falls in love with his child from Spain, or his child from France falls in love with his child from the US, right? Like there's just so many possibilities there. And I really don't like it. I don't. This would be a deal breaker for me. I wouldn't date someone who did sperm donation. I don't like the idea of like these siblings being out there that you don't know about and whatnot. In order to keep his hobby going, Kyle says that he takes a bunch of supplements in order to make sperm. And so apparently his super sperm, as he calls it, is like very, very like puissant. He's got like a huge sperm count and everything like that. And he says that he donates 3 to 5 times a month, which, God, it's too much, you guys. It really, really is. It's a lot. I'm like squirming about this. And by the way, I don't know why people want his sperm so badly, because he just... Grace, no, we're not going to go there. But seriously, when I heard that, I was like, really, y'all want this man's sperm? Y'all not getting the ick? Okay, go off then. So he is on his way to meet his girlfriend, Annie, who is a German girl or woman who now lives in Malta. And on the way, he makes a pit stop in London for another sperm donation. And do you know how he's donating his sperm? He's going to be boning this woman. So like, this is weird. He's traveling around the world doing this. He's like, sometimes I do it in a cup, but the most effective is when I actually like, you know, screw these ladies. And it's like, oh, and you're in a relationship too. So he talks about how hard it's been for him to date, of course. Who wants to put up with this besides Annie? And he's like, yeah, in the past several years, I've only had like 2 or 3 dates or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not surprised, you know? So he does his little thing. He's showing us how he sets up the bed. He's testing it out to make sure it's fluffy. He's brushing his teeth. He's fluffing the pillows. And then he explains to us how the thing goes down. It's just very clinical and awkward. I don't know what the hell Annie sees in this, but listen, she met him on some sort of a sperm donation chat or forum or website or whatever. So she knows that this is what he does. So let's get back to Luke, the 31-year-old, or when he was 30 years old, he got with like an 18-year-old, which is just icky to me. So he has his friend help him drop off his company car. He lost his job. And you know why he lost his job? Because he was taking too much time off to go visit Madeline in Colombia. And so the company was like, listen, if you're not going to work, we're not going to pay you. Get out of here. Give us back our car. So he had his friends like accompany him so that his friend can drive him back. And everything like that. And then they talk about like his relationship, his finances and everything like that. And so he talks about how he spent over $100,000 on Madeline in the 1 year they've been dating. I'm like, Jesus, how do you hit a lick like that? And this man is young. He's like decent looking and everything like that. He's in good shape. Like Madeline girl. So of course, Jesus, good for her. And so now he's like running out of money. He's pulled out his 401k so that he could live off of that for the time being. And I really didn't appreciate the way his friend was like, well, what does Madeline put in? Like, it seems like she's a leech. Are you stupid? Madeline is like a barely legal teenager from Colombia with no job and no formal education that we know of right now, okay? So how is she going to contribute to a relationship with this man? He knew that. That's why he decided to go for a barely legal girl in Colombia rather than go for a grown woman like him in the United States of America. That's why he decided to love bomb her with all sorts of expensive gifts, a home, boobs, everything. Like he knows that he needs to have some sort of a power imbalance. So he chose two, an economic power imbalance and an age power imbalance. And why should an 18-year-old go 50-50 with a 30-year-old? A 30-year-old is an old man for an 18-year-old. Stop it, you know? And I don't want people going, 30 years and old. Well, I'm 32. I'm not 32 years old. I'm 30 as well. And the idea of getting with an 18-year-old man is an 18-year-old boy, sorry, is disgusting to me. That's a child to me in my head. You know, I'm way too grown for that. Like I have nothing in common with these children who literally just hit adulthood. And even if I did have those kinds of proclivities, I would never expect someone who is a teenager to pay half the bills or to like pay most of the bills or to contribute a significant amount of money to our life together. Because again, this is a child. Right? So the friend calling Madeline a leech is ridiculous. Madeline is not a leech. Your friend is a creep who tried to buy her love and now he's run out of money. That's all it is. Now let's get back to Kyle, that strange man who's addicted to donating sperm. So he meets Annie at the airport and she wants to kiss him or something like that. And he's like, no, you have to earn those. We're going to have a point system. 2 points earns you 1 kiss from me. 3 points earns you a kiss with tongue. This many points earns you intercourse. And I'm like, why does she have to do a point system? But like you're traveling around, like having one night stands with women raw and like, you know, having kids with them and stuff like that. Like, that's just so weird. Like, I'm sorry, but this is the only girl willing to settle for you and you want to play games with her. This is how you treat her. Like, come on. I really hope Annie dumps him by the end of the season, maybe even early on, because this just truly is not it. Like she is scraping the bottom of the barrel, you know, like imagine this would be the bottom of the barrel. No, she turns the barrel over and scrapes the bottom of that to get with this guy of all people. And she's a cute girl. She's a young girl. Yeah, she's a single mom, but her kid is like autonomous age in school and everything like that. She could find somebody like a reasonable person to get with. I must also mention that there was a very compelling storyline. So, and this one is Sean from America and Aaliyah from Brazil. So Sean initially met Aaliyah as Dylan or something like that, as a male, and they went to gay pride in Spain. And then Sean told Aaliyah, hey, or Dylan at the time, I forgot what Aaliyah's old name was. Hey, why don't you like wear a wig? Like that could be kind of fun. Like Sean works in hair, so he wanted to just do it as like a fun, like, you know, one-off thing or sometimes thing. But that's when like Aaliyah was born. And so now he's trying to navigate his feelings. Like, can I really be in a relationship with a trans woman? Because I fell in love with a man. I did not sign up to be with a trans woman. Like I still love this person, but this is just a completely different person from the person I fell in love with. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. I feel like Sean is doing a great job handling the situation with care, empathy, and like, you know, in a very delicate way. But I will say that Aaliyah seems a little bit more brash about it. I feel like, okay, I get it. Like, you're happy and you're proud to finally be able to own this. But like, don't forget, like, Sean is going through a mourning. And I think that you should support him through this, just like he's supporting you through your transition while trying to figure things out on his own as well. But here's the thing, Aaliyah is very young, and this is the situation again. Like, yeah, like as you get older, you hopefully, if you've been learning through your life, you become a lot more emotionally intelligent and nuanced and stuff like that. But when you're dealing with someone who's way too young for you, because I believe Sean is like in his 60s, and then Aaliyah is what, like 21 years old or something like that, 20 years old, like, of course, Aaliyah is not going to be as empathetic to your feelings, or as, you know what I mean? Because Aaliyah is young and like, yes, let me get started here, sort of a deal. So do you guys notice on 90 Day Fiance, generally, these passport bros date people who are way too young for them and from like poorer countries. But then these women, they're typically going for people with, like, who are age appropriate, typically, not all the time. Like, for example, in this episode, the one woman is with an age appropriate man from a financially stable background and country. And then these men are with women who are way too young for them and from much poorer countries and everything like that. It's very interesting how that always is. And then the passport bros wonder, why do people hate on like us when we get international love? Other, you know, women do it too, and people don't hate on them because they are not seeking to be predatory. They are not seeking to be controlling. They are not seeking to have major power imbalances in their relationships generally. You know, of course, there are always exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, it's just not the same. You know, like those men who go to Thailand or the Dominican Republic, and Lord knows what they're doing there with literal children, right? Anyway, you guys, again, I watched this episode on Philo, which has over 70 channels, including TLC, MTV, WeTV, OWN, you name it, they've most likely got it. It only costs $25 a month, but I'm on the 7-day free trial. If you want to join me, make sure to hit that link in the description box down below and sign up as well, or just go ahead and get the full-blown membership as well. Let me know what you thought about this episode and these couples in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.